Welcome to Toy Business Unboxed, your gateway to the secrets of the toy industry. Here, Jason Shea, a toy entrepreneur and expert in the field.
Every product we develop is really inspired by some of the real life experience that we have with our son.
60% of all toys last year were sold on Amazon, which is incredible.
Be passionate about it because it's a road, it's a journey.
Like when you have an idea that you think is like gonna somewhat like change the world, make things better, I'd say go for it.
We'll guide you through the enchanting world of toy design, marketing, and manufacturing. Now let the unboxing begin.
Welcome back to another episode of Toy Business Unboxed podcast. In today's episode, we have Jordan, a game designer, community builder, and the founder of Goosepoop Games. What started with a solo venture in Portland, Maine has grown into a local movement based on spreading possibilities and accessibilities through board games and tabletop games. With a background spanning from UX to marketing to even militaries, Jordan really brings a unique skill set to the world of indie game publishing. So thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today, Jordan.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So will you mind starting out with just sharing your background a little bit of like what were you doing before you start getting into like publishing your own games?
Yeah, so before I started really taking the venture on, I was a UX designer. So I was designing this application where you could scan your room and add furniture to it in 3D space. Then so you could plan out your room. And I made a whole shopping cart system. And so people were ordering furniture and stuff through there. So I was kind of programming and also UX design. So focused on a lot of accessibility.
I see. And what made you get into designing board game?
Yeah, it's kind of, I have a weird kind of journey into it. So before the UX was, I moved up here in Portland, Maine. And then before that, I was living in Savannah, Georgia, and I was a clarinetist in the Army. So I was stationed down there. And at that time, I decided to start my own game group where I thought we were just going to talk about video games. I was taking computer science courses at the same time, so I wanted to get into this space. But one person brought a board game, and we just played it for 3 hours straight. The same game that night. I didn't go crazy and buy a whole bunch of games, but basically started a board game group and I just really enjoy the space. I started with the video games first. So I was doing game jams. So every month I was trying to complete a little video game within a weekend. I was doing all the art and the music and the design and programming and all that. So I was doing that every month because the goal was kind of getting be a UX designer for video games, get into the video game industry. But after playing the board games, I just kind of fell more in love with the board game stuff. I really enjoyed how it brings people together to play. It's a lot more community focused because you're just sitting with the people at the table. And then so when I was a UX designer, I was also working part-time at a souvenir shop just for fun. I was making stickers and stuff.
Okay.
I just was doing random stuff. And the owner was if you want, you can work on whatever you want. All you have to do is sit at this mall kiosk and you can just work on whatever you want. And I'm okay. So that's when it started. That was last year, beginning of last year, I was sitting at the mall kiosk. I used the shirt folder as my little lap desk for my laptop, and that was my space. And then people just walking through them all around me. But yeah, I got 4 games done within 4 months.
That's a pretty productive summer.
Yeah.
How much of your UX design background you feel like you also can translate that into your current doing design for board games and card games?
Yeah, so I am very thankful for my UX design background because my goal with Goosepoop Games was focusing on accessibility. So after running a lot of games, I also started the board game meetup up here in Portland and kind of run it We have like conventions,
Mhm.
but seeing a lot of people like stop by like a table of games, but just like think like, oh, that's not for me. Just think it's too complicated for some reason. It made me
Okay.
really want to try to bridge the gap between like people who are super into games, like big hobbyists, and then people who think like, oh, games aren't for me, because I think games are for everybody. So it's just trying to bridge that gap, which means like different wording, different phrasing. So I have like the one game is my most popular game, Goosepoop. You play as woodland
Okay.
creatures, gather ingredients to make soup.
Yep.
But if you notice, I don't say role-playing game, I say story game. So for the purpose of that is when people first saw it, my like target audience, they would be like, I don't know what a role-playing game is or a TTRPG. So it's like,
Mhm.
oh, I have to like kind of phrase it in a different way. I word it so you don't have to know like fancy jargon or
Mhm.
sometimes TTRPGs or other games just like they love assuming that you've played a game before. So this just kind of like walks you through all the steps.
Besides Goose I know you have a few other games as well. Can you also kind of talk about some other games that you have designed and created?
Yeah, so I have the like TTRPGs like Good Soup where I like print and hand make them, and then I have these little card packs where so I have like Pigeon Chess, Big Stretch, and then Choosy Goosey. They all have very weird themes to them, but the goal is like if you're waiting for your food or just like
Yeah.
this little bit of time, you just toss out a card from your pocket and
Yeah.
start playing. Big Stretch is like the easiest one. All you have to do is get later times on the clock and the cat stretches out right there.
Okay.
So the arms keep going longer and longer. And then, so it kind of plays like blackjack. And then Choosy Goosey, you're trying to get sets of goose clothing, and then that gets longer. So just kind of weird and wacky. And then Pigeon Chess, they move around like chess pieces. So this is like the most thinky, but like it's not terribly difficult. I try to make everything kind of easy to learn. I'm more focused on like if something is difficult, more just like emerging over time. So like the rules should be easy to learn. I always say
Yeah.
like the rules shouldn't be the difficult thing in your game.
Yeah, it depends on the game. Some game take about an hour to learn.
Yeah, I know, right? And that's kind of just like, or like you just like open the game and it's like a book
Yeah, it's a
for the
huge
rules.
book
And you're
that
like,
you need to
oh
read through it.
no.
So,
Yeah, so that's we're not about that here. We're about quick setup. Yeah.
I see, I see. It's definitely making the game approachable for both new and seasoned players is important. You also kind of keep that in mind when you're designing the rule. And for example, for your the pigeon chess game that you just showed the audience earlier, is it like very similar to regular chess? Did it just have less pieces?
So all the card games are 18 cards, less pieces. I just try to make it so the cards have like their different types on it, so you already know
Oh,
like
okay.
kind of how they move. Like so if you lose your king, you still can keep playing. Or
Okay.
like little
Okay.
chess puzzly. It's not like
Yeah.
a full chess board you're dealing with. It's only like a
Yeah.
3x4. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I was just at a convention this past week and people were really enjoying it. We were playing at the booth and stuff. It was the
I see.
most popular game I think of the week. But yeah,
I
so
see. Okay, okay. And since you started the company, what are some of the like takeaway? How would you say is the biggest challenge of starting your own publishing company?
yeah, I think the biggest challenge is people not knowing who you are. So if you're just starting out, it could be a little difficult to get like people interested, people getting traction. So I was kind of fortunate enough to name my company how I did, and it has helped a lot.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's kind of its own thing. Like,
Yeah.
so, like, a goose poop, I'll be at just like a random pop up market somewhere. People just stop by just for the name, just like
Oh, okay.
see,
Yeah.
like, what is going on? It's and
I
then I'll
see.
just get them with like a game or some art and stuff. So,
I
yeah.
see. I see. Interesting. And okay, so definitely marketing sounds like a challenge. And I think before the show, we also talk about the manufacturing side. Have you figured out the
Oh,
manufacturing
yeah.
side yet?
Yeah, so I mean, my strategy for a lot of the business was to start as small as possible. Is try to figure out like what my skills are, what can I do, and I would make the games based on the skills I have available to me. I wouldn't go off and say, "Oh, my first game is this giant fantasy epic that's 500 pages and needs gallons of art." It's like, no, I can't do that. So I'm not gonna
Yeah,
do it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't make that.
Okay.
So I was like, my office printer prints paper pretty good. I'm gonna print little books
I
and
see.
cut them
Okay.
up and make them look kind of nice and fun for people. So yeah, just knowing like the scope for the card games, it's a little bit trickier because I'm still not manufacturing in mass quantities yet.
Okay.
So the card games are from like Game Crafter, local in the US. So they're small batches. And then I just took the files for like, they have the outlines for the envelopes and stuff. And so I just printed and made them myself. I just handmade, put
I
glue
see. I
on them.
see. I see.
And yeah, so but yeah, figuring out what you could do yourself helps a lot and kind of keeps the scope small.
Yeah, and you also have done a few Kickstarter for some of your game, right? Which one was the most successful one so far?
I've done one Kickstarter so far in February, and that
Yeah.
was really successful. That one was for Warped FM. It's a little podcast role playing game. Yeah, so you interview creatures from other dimensions. Um, it's gotten to be like a little bit bigger than I was expecting because I just got really excited and decided to write more for it. I just got quotes from different printers. I'll have to weigh my options because there's like one printer who could do like smaller batches, but that means they're more expensive. So I might just go ahead and get like a big batch of games and then store them in like a little storage facility or something like that and then hand deliver it. But I'm also looking into like scaling more, so like Amazon warehousing, other different kind of warehousing as well, and distribution. I kind of planned my Kickstarters like a year ahead of time. So the Warp FM was a really big learning experience because it was my first one.
Yeah.
So doing it, I'm like, oh, this is a lot more work than I realized.
Yeah.
And so like after I like it went live, I'm like, I don't want to see
You wanna do it for
anybody.
a while? Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of work, but I'm really grateful for like the people that supported it and backed it, and it's like 1,000% funded, so it's really great. But yeah, the next ones, I think I'm gonna do another little role playing game. Definitely focusing on smaller scope on this one for October, a little spooky game, and then another role playing game in February where this one's going to be more pushing like an upper scale of like production where it's going to look like a diner menu where it's like laminated on the front and back and it's
Oh,
spiral bound.
okay.
Yeah, it's going to look cool. And then it's going to have like rip out player sheets and stuff. So it's all going to be in the book.
I
So
see.
that'll be cool. Yeah. Definitely going to be the more expensive, even though it's not. I don't have super expensive games, but it's going to be more expensive. And then I'm shooting for May for like my first big board game where the box is going to be kind of like,
Much bigger. Okay. That's for next year.
yeah, yeah, it's going to be a lot bigger. I was kind of debating if I want to wait on that or not, but it's kind of like a personal, like, is this my own mental obstacle?
Going to
I
do
just-
a Kickstarter for it as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a Kickstarter for it. For like a game that size, I kind of have to. But and then for the card packs, I don't think I'm gonna do a Kickstarter, but I'm going to have them more mass produced instead of like the little envelopes that are here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have them in little 18 card boxes
Oh, okay.
that fold open, and so that'll look more professional. Everything will start having barcodes. Nothing has barcodes right now, if you notice. And so I think just making things more look like an item,
More
like
polished. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Proud
more
of some of it.
polished and
I
stuff.
see. And you mentioned about like you're also running local meetup. How often are you running those meetup, and what do you usually do at a meetup?
Yeah, so I started FriendCon or helped start FriendCon up here in Portland. I used to do like a lot of the marketing for it, organizing like the conventions and the Saturday meetups. So
Oh,
every
yeah,
Saturday we have game night at a place. And then every third Thursday we have role playing game night, which is
yeah.
just anybody can hop in and play a game. And then every Thursday, there is a chess club that runs. Yeah, so lots of things going on. And I've got it to the point where it's like I've had regulars and stuff so much that people just kind of starts running themselves. And then now FriendCon has turned into almost its own LLC just so we can
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah.
Oh, nice.
So it
Okay.
like safely manages its own money just so legal things.
I
But
see.
yeah, make
People usually show up to the event.
so for Saturday nights, like it ranges from like 13 to 30
Oh, that's quite a
people.
bit. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, especially in the winter when it's snowing and stuff here,
Oh,
board
I
games
see.
are perfect. And then the conventions we have around 70 all day, and it's
Mm.
just mainly just like a free play, kind of just like hang out, play games all day, which is really great. And then I have contacts with like food trucks, and so I bring food trucks in and
Oh, that
other
sounds fun.
stuff.
Yeah.
I used to run like some winter markets as well for like artists and
Mhm.
stuff. It was just a lot of work.
That sounds like a lot
I
of work.
can't,
Yeah.
I can't do
Yeah.
that anymore. As exciting as it is, but Maine really likes markets. They love their artists and the people that live and create here. So very fortunate for like the community that supports people, each other. So that's really nice.
I see. So what is your vision for the company for the next upcoming few years?
Ooh, that's big. I kind of mentioned it, but like scaling up is kind of my big hope. So like having more of a warehouse thing, all my products having like feel official with their barcodes, ISBN numbers, all that. I'd really like to start figuring out more of a system of how like booths are run or just like every
Mhm.
aspect of my business is run. So it's not just all reliant on me. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I could call out for a vacation on my business and have it still run for
Yeah.
itself. That's kind
Definitely.
of the goal. Have like that kind of structure. I think
Mhm.
right now is just this year is just kind of like figuring out the base of it, the foundation, and like
Mhm.
kind of setting rules and like missions. The current mission is to have my games in all like game retailers in New England. Just start
Okay.
small area for now. But yeah, and to do that, I need to have bigger print quantities of things. So that means just more
Yeah,
stuff.
definitely. There's a lot more things to consider, including slowly building up your own teams. Obviously, vision is also important, but you need some team member to support your work. And fortunately, like in our modern society, you can hire like really good people for pretty affordable rate overseas if you know where to look for and where to hire. And I think you have a lot of very interesting game and very interesting line. So it's just on how do you, just like you mentioned earlier, how do you get your name out there so people know you exist, which is sometimes
Yeah.
the hardest part to do initially.
Yeah. I've been doing this year was like a lot of big conventions, like big
Mhm.
tabletop conventions for me. And it's been really interesting how I've gotten into them, whereas other companies have been trying for like 5 years, tried to get into this. And I was like, maybe I'm just annoying or I just bug them enough where they're like, all right,
Yeah,
just come in. I guess you'll have a table.
I
But
see.
I don't know. It's just been interesting. It's been cool to like I have these conventions, but then I also kind of split the area with another company. So like we're kind of helping each other in that aspect of like
Mm.
talking about business and like money and growth and games, talking a lot
Mhm.
about games and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And it's been interesting seeing how like because I've done like a lot of retail now with the souvenir shop. seeing how people sell their things.
Mhm.
I've learned how I want it. Like, if I have helpers,
Mm.
I need to kind of outline how they should act and stuff around people, treat people. So when people are coming to the Goosepoop booth, it's the same experience every time. Like, you get like a welcoming, hey, how's it going? And then like accessibility and just like explain how things are. I have a very joyous, charismatic way about me. So making sure everybody who works there has a good way about them.
Yeah, definitely have a standardized process for training, which is very important,
Right.
especially if you want to have a consistent kind of a customer experiences with people that's interacting with your company. So, and what other trade show are you planning to attend this year?
So the next one is Gen Con. So
Mhm.
that one is in Indianapolis. That is the end of this month.
Mhm.
So that's the biggest tabletop convention in the US. So it's going to be a lot of people. I'm going to be joining, there's the Indie Game Developer Network that I'm a part of.
Okay.
So I'll just have my stuff at their table and work there, which is really nice. They give you like a free room and pass if you work the table, and then I'll be running games and then just connecting with a lot of people that are in the space. And then I have another show in October that I'm saying all the big shows, but I have markets that run like every other weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, the next
Mhm.
big show is a Game Hole Con in Madison, Wisconsin. There'd be a lot more role-playing game creators there, so it'd be nice to like see people I've been chatting with online and connect with other like people who have been in this industry for a lot longer than I have. So that'd be nice to connect. And then the next big one is in November, and that's PAX Unplugged.
Excellent
That's
plus,
another
yeah.
really big
Yeah.
one.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite show. I actually got a booth for that one, so that's really exciting. It's my
Mhm.
first time having a booth. Last year was a lot of fun. I have a distributor for a Good Soup, and so they had some stuff at their booth, and then I had another friend who said, I have this corner of my table. Do you want to just put your games there? I'm like, sure. I was running Good Soup all week for like different groups of people. I wasn't doing the exhibitor, the booths or anything. The games sold out
Oh, okay.
in the hall. So that was kind of like a big learning point of like, oh, I should run games. People want to play them. And then
Mhm.
most of the time they just go and buy them.
Mm,
And so it's the
okay.
whole like trying out a product before you buy.
For sure.
Yeah. So that was a great learning point. So I'm gonna be running more games and stuff. I try to run games at each convention, but that means like if I have a booth as well, is there's gonna be somebody watching the booth.
Yeah.
Luckily I have some good friends that I'm like, I could pay you in food, cool shirt. You get a goose shirt and I'll pay you in food. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. I get it for free.
Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. That
Yeah.
that will help
So
out a lot for
yeah.
sure.
So it's been really great, and I'm really thankful for like the people that I've connected with.
I see. So looking back, if you have to share just one piece of advice with someone that's just getting started within the toys and game industry, what would that be?
The big advice I learned this year is get a business credit card.
Get a business credit card. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I just paid off my own personal credit card that's from my business debt. And keep them
That's
separated.
separated. Yeah, I
Keep
like
them
it very much.
separated.
Yeah.
Once I had the business credit card and then
Mhm.
figuring all that, being able to see like how the money is moving around is very
Yeah,
important.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit of cost involved when you're running a physical product-based company like a toy and game company that we do.
Yeah.
So yeah. And for people that's listening that will be interested to learn more about you and your company, where is the best place for people to find you online?
Yeah, so goosepoopgames.com is where you can find all the games there. And then on the socials, it's at goosepoop207, most socials. And then on Blue Sky, I think it's just goosepoopgames.bluesky or
Got it. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that. We'll make sure we put that in the show note. And thank you so much again for today's time for you to share your journey and your story within the toys and industry so far. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. It's been great talking.
Same. And for our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Toy Business Unboxed podcast. We hope you have really enjoyed today's conversation and find it insightful and inspiring. If you like what you have heard, be sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. We really appreciate your support and would love it if you can leave us a review and share the podcast with your friend and colleague. For more resources, tips, and the latest update within the toys and game industry, visit our website at toy-launch.com. Join the conversation and connect with us on social media using hashtag ToyBusinessUnboxed. We'd love to hear your feedback and suggestions for future episodes. Until next time, keep innovating, keep creating, keep bringing joys to toys. This is Jason Shea, signing off on the Toy Business Unboxed podcast. We'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much, everyone.